Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another opening series in our chess games. My name is Coach Vince, and we're going to dive right into this opening that we want to learn with the white pieces. In this case, it's going to be a Sicilian defense, and we need to know what to do against it with the white pieces. So we're going to see immediately the first moves right off the bat. E4, C5. That lets us know that we're going to be in a Sicilian defense. And then white wants to do something tricky here because black's idea is to trade off their c pawn for white's d pawn. So if we haven't seen this opening before, then a really common way to reply would be knight f3, knight c6, d4, capture, capture, and then we would be in an open Sicilian. And this is generally what black has studied if they're playing this opening. So we want to throw our opponent off. We want to make them play something that they haven't played before and they don't know what to do. So in this case, black is probably satisfied. They have their two center pawns. They're comfortable. We want to make them uncomfortable. So what we're going to do, instead of playing knight f3, we're going to play c3. This is our Alapin Sicilian. So white's idea is that they're going to use their c pawn to capture back on d4. They still want to play this move. Black, a lot of the time, is still going to play their normal same old move, knight c6. If we're playing with white, then we go right on ahead because we've got two pieces that will be guarding d4, so it's safe. Always important to count up there. 1, 2, 1, 2. So white is safe there. Black will play just capture. They absolutely should. They don't want to just leave this pawn unguarded on c5. White will just recapture here, and they're maintaining a super center. So more space for white, more center control. We're starting to see that white is going to have a better position here. In this case, black will play their pawn up to e5. This move is probably not recommended because it's going to create a hole on d5, and white, in this instance, they can play their pawn up to d5 and just take more space away. So black is going to have to run around town with their knight, move the same piece twice out of the opening as we discussed in previous videos. That's not ideal. We want to try to move every piece once before we bring out our other pieces. So knight won't move just yet. We're going to play bishop b4 check in this variation. Just throw in a check. White will block, and then knight d4. Okay, so in this case, white will play their bishop to d3. And then in this case, black will make a mistake here. They're going to play pawn to d6. So if I let you pause the video, what would you play here as white? We want to look for a piece that's not well guarded. We want to make a fork here. Okay, if you said queen to a4 check, then you'd be right because we're giving this check and attacking this bishop, and there's no way that black can save this piece. So knight c6, of course, doesn't work because white will just capture. And they'll still be in this predicament. They'll be in a discovery and attacking this bishop here. So really no way to save from this point on. So that was our first example in the Alapin Sicilian. Let's take a look and see if our opponent plays a little bit differently. Can we still use this variation? The answer is absolutely yes. So we start off again with e4, c5, c3, knight c6, knight f3, d6 this time. So this could be reached from a couple different ways. We could have white playing knight f3 before they play d4, and this would be called the delayed Alapin. So if you've played against someone just using straight up d4 method immediately, maybe the next game you could play knight f3 first to throw them off even further and really make them keep guessing, make them uncomfortable. So here, white can just play bishop to e2, further foregoing this d4 push. Black will play knight f6, and they attack this pawn. What would you play here as white? White has a tricky move. Okay, if you found d4, then congratulations, you're a really sharp chess player. So allowing our pawn on e4 to be captured sets up a very cunning trap. If white goes ahead, or sorry, if black goes ahead and captures this pawn on e4, what would you do? Pause the video if you need to. Okay, so if you found pawn up to d5, then great job. This is going to cause a threat, and then we're going to see maybe a pattern that we've seen before. Pawn to d5 makes a threat on this knight. This knight will have to move because we're attacking with a lower value piece. So after black moves their knight over to e5, then pause the video, make sure that you found the right move for white. What would you do here? That's correct. Again, queen a4 is the move because it'll be checking the king and attacking yet another piece that's not well guarded. So we can see that offering up this e-pawn was a very sneaky trap that white laid here. And this d-pawn being pushed was necessary so that the queen could have vision on the e4 square. So after perhaps bishop to d7, then white queen will just be able to simply capture on e4 with a big advantage of winning a piece. So there we have it. That's our Alapin Sicilian. And in any case, if black isn't capturing some of our pawns here and taking the bait, then white will be quite satisfied with having a nice ideal pawn center. And we can just continue to guard our center, and black will be hard pressed to find more space. So I'm curious to know, what are your guys' thoughts on this opening? Do you like the Alapin Sicilian? Do you have a different way that you like to respond to Sicilian defense? Leave a comment below. If you found this video helpful, then please give a like. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next video.